Like for example, if you talk about the assembly of iris and pupil, so I am just interested to highlight the things that are related to iris and pupil. I would use a single word to remember this working. That single word is variable aperture. Variable aperture. So by aperture, we mean opening. To what extent the light is allowed to pass through, we call it an aperture. So a variable aperture means the size of the pupil which is acting as an aperture is variable. That means if we want to see an object with more intense light, say for example we are in a dark room and we have to see it very clearly, our brain will automatically make sure that the pupil is enlarged. This muscle connected to pupil will enable it to have it a bigger size so that more light can enter. Other side, when you are out in a very more light region like in a daylight, and I don't want to accommodate more light, automatically the size of this pupil will get down, and that's why we call it variable aperture. So this is one point I want you to make it clear. And then I want to tell another automatic functionality that our eye has, that is adjustable focal length. Adjustable focal length. So here you already know, for a lens, the focal length, object distance, image distance, they are related by an equation like this. Now coming to our eye. So we are calling the lens is there at the front of our eye. Let us say the light is incidenting on this lens, and this light rays are converged onto the sensitive region. We are calling it as retina, and of course the brain will read those electrical signals. So for this lens, the limitation is the distance of image to be formed from the lens. This V is fixed. So the limitation of I is V is fixed, and I will see objects where U is variable. So sometimes we need to see near objects, sometimes we need to see distant objects, and that will automatically force this F also to be variable. So the focal length of this lens must be variable. It has to automatically adjust to see the nearby objects and also to see the farther objects. So here is the beauty. You know the lens maker's formula, which says 1 by F is equal to mu minus 1 into 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. If you are not aware of this, not at all an issue. Focal length and radius of curvature, they are related. So to have a variable focal length, we must have to adjust this radius of curvature. The ciliary muscles will do exactly the same. The ciliary muscle, it will pull or get itself into a relaxed position or into a strained position, bringing the changes in radius of curvature of this lens. Thereby, focal length can be adjusted. Just to give a little elaboration, suppose we are looking at a distant object. The ciliary muscles will get into a relaxed position. Automatically, the focal length will be adjusted to a particular value. So in the coming classes, we will see how that focal length is going to become, whether it is going to become more or less. When you are seeing a close by object, the ciliary muscles get strained. When they get strained, then automatically the radius of curvature has to adjust itself. So the automatic functionality of focusing is done with the help of ciliary muscle, which alters the radius of curvature and focal length. And then one more interesting point regarding retina, you will be shocked to know nearly 1 to 5 million receptor cells in the form of cones and rods are present in the region of retina. These cones will identify colors, the rods will identify intensity, and these signals are carried to the brain through optical fiber, optic nerve, which will have 1 million nerve fibers. 1 million nerve fibers. So this is the entire journey of light from eye to brain. In the coming class, we are going to work more on math, how we can calculate the maximum focal length of eye, minimum focal length of eye, followed with the defects that we can have with eye, how a normal eye sees, what are the defects that we have, and let's see that in next video.